Welcome back to Disco Elysium. We made it to the harbor last time by beating up a giant behemoth racist. We sure showed him. We're now in the harbor, and hopefully the Union boss is somewhere around here. I don't think this is the Union boss, but let's have a chat with them nonetheless.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard.
The tiny man is so engaged in his work he doesn't notice you. Hi!
Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister? I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
A shadow passes over his kind face. Actually, I am, yes. I even said so to Manana.
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
He doesn't seem to be waiting for you to answer.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
Oh, we did get a notification that he might be Ubi by Encyclopedia. You're Ubi, right?
Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then, too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No sir, those are just nasty rumours.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
What are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes I am, yes I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
He waves at the containers towering behind him. We have a red check. This is a one-time only. Logic. Huh. It's at 58%. It's not bad, but it could be better. Did we have any cigarettes on us? I'm not sure if we did. I'm also not sure if we can come back to this check, so let's go on with it. Let's just try this. What's going on here?
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder.
We missed it so hard. Wow. Red is so much prettier than drab old green.
Sure is, mister. Sure is. Really livens up the place. Yes it does, yes it does.
I had to break this bonding moment, but the red containers mean they are replacing the company livery with the union livery, which means this strike isn't gonna stop anytime soon.
Well, we missed it. Whatever it was, we'll never know what it was now. Where is everyone? The harbor's empty.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in.
He leans in with a confidential look.
We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate.
He pauses to think.
But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
He stops, but seems eager to tell you more. Yeah, Jean-Luc. We beat his ass down a while ago. That's how we got here. And Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble, like hanged the security contractor. What trouble did Titus and his friends get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business.
He smiles and leans closer.
Him and his boy stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
Boy, what did they actually do?
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
He looks to you for assistance.
Look at him. It's not gonna be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow.
What shall we go with, chat? Too rowdy? Leo, what kind of a fight did they get into? Did they kill a mercenary? Okay, Leo, let's hear about this fight you got into. What shall we say, chat? Well, no opinions there. Let's just hear about this fight you got into.
I remember I was the runt of the class. The bigger boys always used to pick on me. You see, I had a bit of a temper back in the day. Flew off the handle like nobody's business. But Mr. Everett and his brother always came to help. Once they beat old Noel Becker so bad he needed stitches on his head. Noel never started another fight with anyone after this. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar are real nice guys, mister. You should go talk to Mr. Everett. I'm sure you'll be good friends. He's friends with everyone around here.
Do you work here?
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo.
The little man raises his hand in a welcoming gesture.
I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Hold on, who's this Miss Beaufort you mentioned?
Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
He respects that word. That's obvious.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
He sighs and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer, aka the gardener?
Yeah, we did meet the gardener, yeah. And it turns out she's a fixer. Is this about her?
Looks like it.
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she is a real nice girl. Smart as a whip too.
The little guy smiles a disarming smile at you.
Telling the gardener you know her name might throw her off. Perhaps something to consider later.
Are you the Leo who wrote the note to make more banners?
Oh yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
Yes, we did learn about the borscht last time. What's that about the borscht?
Oh yes, I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
Power borscht, huh? Never heard of a bush that turns little guys into dogfighters. Alcohol, however.
What do you mean by taking this soup to the men? Is it for striking?
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
Huh. Who makes it at the Whirling? That's where we're staying.
Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Oh, Mr. Garachi Kubek. I've spoken with him. Looks like the borscht is spiked. I'm gonna look into this.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
Alright. What is in that container over there? As we point to the container suspended from the crane arm that we lowered before.
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
Okay, Kim. You got this one. I'm looking for the leader of the Dock Workers Union.
Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood.
He coughs, then continues immediately.
Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Easy now, Leo. I just want to know where I can find this man.
Oh, Mr. Everett is where he always is. In his office, of course.
He points to the two joint containers on your right. Okay, I'm off, Leo.
Bye-bye now.
He returns to his work. Okay. So supposedly the head of the union is over here. Let's head inside. Have a talk. Should be interesting to hear the other side of the dispute. The coffee in the giant thermoses is still lukewarm. Oh, we didn't get a check here. I was really hoping to get a check here, but we didn't. Oh well. A stair made of pallets leading up. Taxidermy fish that tells time. Well, I suppose this is Everard. Let's have a chat. After we take some notes of Fed.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Are you in charge of the dock workers?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
He gestures to a tiny chair opposite to his giant desk.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez.
The man relaxes into his chair and continues.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
The lieutenant nods at you, then the chair.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
I don't know, what shall we say, chat? Take a seat. I'd rather stand. Why are you calling me Mr. Dubois? That's not a name that rings a bell. We're Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. I'd rather stand.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
I don't sit. It's kind of my thing.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions.
As he nods, his multiple chins move like ocean waves.
I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
He turns back to his typewriter.
You're no Titan of Elysium, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Volition failed. Just by a little bit. It required 11. Ours was 9. Fine. Take a seat.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
He gives you a sly wink. Shall we remain serious? Try to wink back, or think about how uncomfortable the chair is? Which is it, chat? Damn, this chair is uncomfortable.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
We took damage from the uncomfortableness of the chair.
By the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
He points at it again.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
That is a lot of money. Wait, you know Gart?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
At least don't thank him for it. But we could take the comically large check. It is good money. We could use that money. Or we could have him just keep it. Or we could be very antagonistic about it. What shall we say, chat? I could use the money, honestly. But what do you think we should say to Evrard about this comically large novelty check? Well, since chat said nothing, I think we should take it and say nothing.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me? Or...
No.
No, it's cool. We've got integrity.
Cool? I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty check to a cafeteria manager. But, sure, if that's what's cool nowadays. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
How does he know about our lost gun? How do you know about it?
I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Shh. Kim.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
He says as though to himself. Don't panic. Because it's very low. -1 because we took the novelty check. +1 because we didn't say thanks. -2, the chair is killing us. -1, side effect spooks. Okay, chat. If you want to make this is a one-time check. We can only try this one time. If we don't want to panic. If we want to improve my motorics. Yeah. That's what we need. We need motorics. Help me. Still 8%. Don't panic.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
No, I'm not about to cry.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
The large man snaps his fingers, but to no effect. You're in some stupor. There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to your safe place.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Yeah, composure wants us to say this first one. I like where this is going, but I think I could use that glass of water, honestly. Sit upright.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions.
Yes, this is the police officer question. I want to talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
I sense there's a but.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
Kim, is that true? Are we door-opening machines?
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up, and when he does, you're going to come out on top.
Why don't you just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
Whose door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
What do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly.
He removes his glasses and rubs his nose.
Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
He puts his glasses back on. I bet you don't even know anything about the hanging.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
Well, it's pretty much just the same situation as it was with Choice, the Wild Pines representative. Well, where she wanted us to do something for her, and here's Evrard wanting us to do something for him in order to talk about the murder. We need to look into the murder. But it feels wrong to do it, doesn't it? Damn it, fine. I'll look into it. We need to talk about that murder.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level.
He flicks his fingers.
You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Aren't you going to ask me how I got in here?
Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry. You spin-kicked my strongest man in the face. I saw it from my window.
We did.
Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard?
I understand. I am a terrifying death machine.
Don't worry, Harry. Between you and me, I'm not a huge fan of his race thing, but the Union did not get where we are today by frowning on eccentricity. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
I'm told the Union is involved in the local drug trade.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
Well, chat. I am. No, I'm not. Lie. No comment. Which is it? Are we gonna be straight up with Everard? Are we gonna lie? Or are we gonna be professional? Looks like we're gonna be professional about it. No comment.
Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we?
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
My name's not Harry. You call me Mr. Dubois. Why?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
My memory is fine. I'm just testing you.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out with my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
The lieutenant inspects Everard over his spectacles.
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
58% for this check. +1 because we read shipping folders before, but Rabbi is telling us not to do that immediately. Let's get this straight. What's my full name?
It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
You don't feel like either one of these things. You know what your name is. You have a sophisticated name, like that of a count, or a beautiful man.
That is not my name. My name is Raphael Cousteau.
Fine, Harry. You can even be Harry Raphael Dubois de Costeau, or whatever you choose to be. Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. I, however, wish to help you any way I can.
Do you know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids or...
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry?
I mean, we're hooked up on amphetamines. We've been drinking so hard on the job that we haven't done our job. We're probably not a family man.
That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats.
What kind of a cop does it say I am?
Harry, you're not simply a cop, you're a star. A bright shining star in the drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar.
I just need to remind everybody out there that yes, we are some kind of superstar. He's alluding to that fact. That's what I like about you, Everard. You get me.
Of course I do, Harry. And I'm gonna help you shine. I'm gonna put you on all the big stages, your name in giant neon letters. Harry Dubois.
The giant neon sign reading Harry Dubois, hanging from the Cavalson crane, can be seen all the way to Jamrock. Somewhere in Mirova, a beautiful woman sees the bright glow on the horizon and says to herself, "Oh my God, I shouldn't have left him."
What is that, Inland Empire? Where did you get that folder?
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
It's now at 72%. +1 because Kim suspects something. But perhaps chat can give me a boost to intellect for this one. So we may pass this red check of drama. We should have brought our cigarettes. Cigarettes would improve our intelligence. Just like in real life. 72. Let's have another look at that folder.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
That's not an RCM folder.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau, like I said. Now I'm actually a very busy man, so is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
So the Census Bureau says my name is Harry Dubois.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
Yes, let's move on because that's not my real name. Okay, let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Wait, Rhetoric. Hold on. Could he really hold my gun hostage?
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Do we really want to say this to him? That my gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop? That seems like a very... that doesn't seem like a good thing. Does this mean if I do things for you, I will get my gun back?
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
I'm looking into your shady brew.
I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care either.
I met Joyce, the company representative.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals?
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy.
Got a few things we can talk about here. Guess we'll just go through them one by one. We didn't hear mention of the previous negotiator, Gilmore. So let's ask about him. What happened to him?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
You called him a midget.
Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
So slimy. Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny. Joyce didn't mention any casserole.
Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
Right, Joyce seems to think the union is lowballing her.
Yes. Lowballing, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
Why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
Fine, let's change the topic.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Maybe we should exchange the favor. What's in the container that's outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There was something special about it. It was attached to the Qualcent crane.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
What convinced the container to open? Maybe. Everard, I'm gonna leave now, but we might talk again later.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
He leans, reaches into his drawer and pulls out a plastic card. Thanks. I was wondering how I'm supposed to get out.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
Well, now we've spoken with both sides of the conflict, essentially. Everard Clare, the Union boss, and Choice Messier of Wild Pines. And here we are. Doing menial tasks for both of them. Right. Open apartment door for Everard. We need to get the key from Maniana. The special borscht. What's so special about the borscht the strikers are eating? The cook in the whirling rag is making it. You're gonna find him in the kitchen. Look into it. Well, Renerick did suggest that we try to talk to this container. What's this though? Walsund means whale fjord in Arden.
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
We can use rhetoric to persuade the door to open. That's definitely something. Oh, we don't have any cigarettes. If only we had cigarettes, we could make this our rhetoric be even higher than this. We gave all our cigarettes to Kuno. I'm sure we'll come back to this at some point with cigarettes, so that maybe we can persuade it to open. Okay. Back out here. Is Measurehead still down? No, he's up. What's up, Measurehead? How did you like that spin kick?
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic.
I knocked you out like a god of martial arts.
True. I said nothing about our personal dynamic. That has altered. A little.
we could still subscribe to the advanced race theory. I don't think there's any need for us to do that. Let's leave. Alright, so supposedly Maniana has a key for the Weasel's house.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
Was nice enough. Labor Utopia, not approvingly. Complete shit. What shall we say? Okay, a three-way nothing. Let's take a look. We are a communist above all else. So, that part of our brain is definitely speaking to us. Labor Utopia.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains.
He nods solemnly, then turns to you, a wide smile adorning his face.
Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Everard said you have a key to a door.
A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
I don't know, some whistleblowers, I think.
Oh, say no more. I got you.
He taps the side of his nose with a little wink.
I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
I saw an opportunity and I took it. I'm a hustle grinder. I heard something about a weasel and it didn't sound like a local polar weasel, if you know what I mean. Wink. I'm not opening this door for myself. I'm opening it for all working men. I'm not really doing this for political reasons. Do you have an opinion on what we should say about this? Well, so long as we get nothing, we may as well go with the communist cop inside us. I'm not opening this door for myself. I'm opening for all working men.
I knew this man was a commie. And it's a good thing you're doing too. Thanks. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter.
His gaze wanders off into the distance.
None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Anything else I should know about this task? This weasel person? When he'll be home?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
The man takes a big sip from his flask.
He means he's not going to tell you cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard. Who he is and what they're fighting for. This is interesting. Ask him about the Hardy Boys.
Actually, do you know anything about the Hardy Boys?
Los Hardys? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Why are you striking?
We're negotiating our share.
Your share?
Aye.
He seems pleased with himself. How large a share would you like?
All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
Thank you, Rhetoric. Are you a communist?
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't.
But the stuff you do aligns admirably well with the World Republic. Why not call yourself a communist?
I have nothing against communists. They are honorable boyaderos. And they have good analysis. But my own code serves me well. If my code starts failing, a code can fail a man as well as a man can fail a code, then I will have to submit to a new one, which may well be communism.
He knows who he is, firmly grounded, has no need to reinforce or elaborate his political identity to himself or others.
I guess I understand.
See, I'm primarily a lazy person.
He looks very amused, as if thinking about some private joke or mystery. The boss man, Everard. What can you tell me about him?
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've made it. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman.
What does bossing the Union entail, anyway?
I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish.
That desk seemed lavish to me.
He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway, and moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
It's been very insightful talking to him about politics. You seem to have spent a lot of time thinking about the political situation, Maniana.
Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing. It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian Boyadero code, itself an appropriation of Vespertine cool. That of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends.
Maybe I am a boyadero.
No,
But
no. The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide, yet it feels as if he could effortlessly go even wider, if need be. An endless torrent of time.
do you have any idea who killed the hanged man?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
He shakes his head solemnly. The harbor is a prime area of suspicion. In your opinion, are the dock workers involved in the killing?
What a thought. Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course.
Pushed how?
Your dead guy was an enemy combatant.
Hold up. What does that mean?
He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts.
Did you kill him?
I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
He takes a sip from his flask. Good talking to you. Gotta run. Okay. So, we are now doing jobs for both Everard, the head of the Departures Union, and Joyce Messier, the representative of Wild Pines. We're looking into the drug trade for her, and we're opening a door of a weasel for him. We're not in an enviable position here. Furthermore, Everard knows about our gun. He knows about our lost gun. He has his man looking for it. That doesn't bode well. He did give us this, and we did take it. This 20 by 50 centimeter check looks like it's meant to be handed over ceremoniously on a gala-like event. It supposedly exchanges for 25 riel at your local Frit store. Below the number, a careful hand has written the words. Constable's rent. All of it. Note. Worthless in a pawn shop. You know, perhaps before we call it quits, we'll turn that in. It did say we need to cash it in the Frit store.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
I need to exchange this novelty check for cash.
Wow. I didn't know you worked for the Union, sir.
She rolls up the giant novelty check. Looks like she's seen it before and slips it under the counter.
Anything else I can do for you?
No, you don't work for the Union. The Union works for you by supplying you with cash. Blow the whole thing on speed and gin right now. Speed and gin. Great combo. Ask some local dealers, maybe.
Thank you, electrochemistry. Does Frit have a warehouse in the back of the Whirling in Rags?
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frit does.
Come on, give me something to work with here.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
She turns back to her magazine without waiting for you to respond. Let's leave. We should probably use some
A small cabinet
goodies.
is filled with various.
Okay, here. I hope.
Maybe
this makes you feel
buy
better.
some
Okay,
more goodies.
Here. I hope.
Turn in our
The
bottles.
tear machine stands. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
Heck yeah, we got 37.86 real. We can pay for the hostel bill tonight, and then some. And we had a pretty eventful morning, actually. Spoke with the local union muscle. We got into the harbor. Now we're doing things for Everhard. But, let's have a look. Open apartment door for Everard. You have the key. The door is behind the greenhouse in the yard. A basement door. Yeah. We're probably gonna have to do this. If Everard knows about our gun, that might be of some use. The special borscht, we need to look into this. As for the rest of this was already here when we started the day. It's 14:34 in Martinez. And I think it's gonna be it for this session. I'll see you next time.